Welcome back to another episode of Life Along the Streetcar. I'm your host, Tom Heath, and each week we talk with the people who are shaping our urban core from economic, cultural, and artistic backgrounds. Been on the air since 2017 with, this is probably like episode 370 something. So welcome for you. If it's your first time, you can check us out on lifealongthestreetcar.org to get all of our past episodes, an easy way to contact us, and more information about our show and our book. Today we are joined with an artist from the Tucson Gallery. It's part of our collaboration with the gallery. It's called Meet the Artist. And today I'm incredibly excited to welcome in to the studio Victor Navarro.
Thank you so much. It's so nice to be here with you, Tom.
Well, it's fabulous to have you here.
Thank you.
I mean, we have just met within the last several months as the gallery was opening its new space.
Yes.
But I have a feeling you've been doing art for a little bit longer than that.
I've been doing that, for like about 20 years.
Okay.
Since my youth. I started in middle school and then in high school here at Santa Rita High School.
So are you from Tucson?
No, I'm from Guadalajara, Mexico.
Okay.
But I can say I consider myself a Tucsonan since
Sure.
I've been here since I was maybe 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you went to Santa Rita?
Santa Rita, yeah.
Okay.
That was amazing.
What years were you there, just out of curiosity?
Well, I graduated in 06, so it's been a little while.
Well, the reason I ask is I was involved with a financial literacy project for high schools.
Okay, nice.
And we worked with Santa Rita quite a bit. So
Well, maybe we met in the past and I don't know.
Could be.
Nice.
So you moved to Tucson when you're about 10 years old?
Yeah, so we moved from, my family moved to San Francisco, California first, and then we passed through Tucson because we went to a party in Nogales.
Uh-huh.
And we didn't know this existed, this city.
Wow.
So we drove by and my dad is like, this is a cool city. It's smaller than San Francisco and much more affordable. So we decided to move to Tucson.
Oh, I love that.
That was the beginning of the story, a party.
We are so lucky in Tucson to have all of this artistic talent. And I know in talking to other artists, Tucson wasn't necessarily the plan. It just sort of happened. Mm-hmm. And there was something in there that attracted them. So
yeah,
I'm glad your family chose to be here.
I believe so. This city is magical for sure. I love it. Yeah.
And then, so when you got into art, then at what age? I mean, have you always been artistic since you can remember, or was there a point?
So I remember, yes. Since I was a little kid in Mexico, I remember like the days when I was like 6, 7, 8 with my grandma drawing in her coffee table, and I was just really inclined to drawing.
Drawing on her coffee table, or like?
With
okay,
paper on
okay,
the coffee.
make sure.
Sometimes maybe on the coffee table. That's a good question. But you know what? When we came to the States, it was then when I believe that I started honing into the arts and doing some more like watercolors, starting off with those type of paints when I was like 10, 11 in San Francisco. And then when we came to Tucson in middle school, my lovely teacher, Beverly Henderson, she was one of the most important teachers of my life. In middle school, they teach you how to do projects like tracing and, geometric shapes and very, very basic art. But she was painting portraits during class time for like teachers or other commissions. And that was pretty amazing to see that she was creating paintings in her classroom. And we were doing the student work kind of a deal. And I said, I would like to just learn what you're doing instead of this. And she looked at me like I was crazy. And I'm like, no, for reals. I was 12, 13.
12 years old.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then she's like, okay, well, tell your parents to buy you the supplies, and then we'll get you to learn oil painting. And that's how I really began like the passion for art, more into that.
So a teacher.
A teacher.
But then the second component of that is your family, because they had to buy into this to get that.
Yes, especially my Latino family was like, what is this? We're going to buy art supplies? This is not for, I know. But yeah, they were super supportive and they still are. Like, it's a big part of my career. Like, without them, this would not be possible at all.
Oh, well, that's fantastic. And I know, again, just that you find that we have such artistic talent in Tucson. I'm sure this is everywhere, but those little moments in life that could have changed the direction. Yeah. Right. This Beverly could have shut you out, or your parents could have said, no, you're not going to focus on school. You're not going to do this art stuff.
That's correct.
And who knows, I'm sure there still would have, you can't contain what's in your soul. So it would have come out in some way.
Yeah.
But we're seeing beautiful artwork because of all of this that happened when you were 12 years old.
Yeah. One thing leads to the next. And I just believe the soul connections do bond for some reason,
And your artwork, I recommend people head over to the TucsonGallery.com website and look
Yes.
up your name there and see, because you have a love for the desert and a love for colors, and these things combine in a way that are very unique to bring. It's somewhere in between realism and abstract, because you have these visions of the desert that are just so powerfully colorful.
I appreciate that. Yeah. So this began maybe 2 years ago. This type of series of work. Throughout my career, I love painting the desert in different styles, but I love bold colors. I love brightness, and I think it's one of the things that I can just express myself
Okay.
through those colors and the shapes. The saguaros are my big thing.
Yeah.
I love how they do their own thing with their arms, and just the magic of the time that it takes for them to develop, and then they're the guardians of our desert. So it's really cool to express that in my art.
And that's the art that I know of you, but you're saying that's more recent.
Yeah, this is more recent. This is more like 2-3 years ago.
What were you doing prior? What did things look like prior?
I'm an artist that has developed, I believe, into many different subjects throughout this year. So I started with realism, and I do a lot of portraits for people, realistic portraits. And then I developed this very cool, pure abstract expressionist collection that I did for years. I was just honing the abstract world.
Okay.
And then I came back into more of the realistic, more of the symbolism, more of the figurative works. And then I wanted to contain that within the desert theme and the feeling. And so I just was kind of playing. It was just a game. And I'm like, wow, this looks like a cool series to work for, like to develop.
So, so the way it comes across, as I said, it's kind of this sort of abstract and realism sort of middle ground is what you're in. So that was sort of an intentional path.
I believe so. Without thinking about it too much, I just went into it full of heart. Yeah.
Interesting. And we were just talking before the air. You're involved with. You said you started with the U of A with a program that combines different cultures.
Yes.
And this is kind of a big deal.
For me, it is. And I believe for a lot of people in the community and Tucson and internationally, it has been really cool. So back in the day, 2009, when I graduated from the U of A, I did a project. It's called the International Art Exchange. So what we did is we invited 21 artists from France that I knew to come over.
How did you know 21 artists from France?
Let's back up a little bit.
Okay, let's go to 2008.
In Santa Rita was like the bouncing castle for this epic art world that I'm in right now.
Okay.
Through Santa Rita, I learned French. Okay. So my French teacher has a brother in France who's an artist. When I was at my junior year in Santa Rita, I won the French Alliance from Tucson, the scholarship that sent you to France for a summer.
Wow.
To continue to develop your French language. And I thank God I won. I was like the best French student in Tucson back then, and they sent me. I was 16. And so my teacher said, hey, since you're going to be here, why don't you meet my brother since you're artsy, and maybe he can be your friend, And so he did. And so he took me under his wing for a weekend. And we did a street fair, and we painted live. And I even came out on the newspaper in France, which was really fun.
You painted live? Oh my gosh, how fun.
And
16 years old.
And so he said, don't leave me before I introduce you to someone. And I said, who's that someone? And he's like, she's an art critic for this very important organization in Paris called Cotation, which is like a Christie's art auction house, but in France. And so these people host art from like Monet, Renoir's, and from 18th century up to the modern times. And so he said, whatever you did here, leave it to her, have her analyze it, and have her send it over to the board and see if you can even be considered to be part of this, because I believe you're talented.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, at 16? Yeah. So at 16, you think, okay, let's do this and let's do everything. And so I left it there. And then I went on with my high school experience, which was to live with a host family in the Bretagne area, Bretagne. And so I left the artwork there. And for 6 months, I didn't hear back. Back then, internet was really limited and iPhones were not a thing. And so we wrote letters to each other. And I printed the pictures at Walgreens and sent it to France. And so 6 months later, I received a letter from Cotation saying I was accepted as one of the youngest artists at that time in the world, in that realm, to be included in this collection. And so from then on, I developed this relationship with France and going back every year to bring artwork to this organization and to all these things. And then Denise, the lady who's the art critic, Denise Varin, She said, "Why don't we do a project together?" And so that's when we developed the International Art Exchange.
Okay.
So her art friends and my art friends, we came together to Tucson.
So now we're in 2009.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Fast forward to 2009, and we brought 20 artists from France, and we hosted them in homes in Tucson from people that we know. Because honestly, the bohemian life is not as, maybe you don't have so much money, so we need to make it easier and accessible. So we had the U of A, the Union Gallery host the art show. And then people that are my friends or acquaintances were able to host a French artist for a week. And so that was pretty nice. So the artists were able to show their work in Tucson and be hosted through like a friend. And so this developed relationships, right? So, and I said, okay, next year, so now you're friends, now we're going to go visit you. And so we did this exchange for about 10 years. And it developed into this now more international organization. Now we've been doing Dubai, Greece, Spain, Mexico, France, and any country that's welcoming us, we'll go.
So is this an exchange between like the upcoming one in May? I think you said it's in
Athens.
In Athens. So is it Greek artists and American artists, or are the French and like is everyone still involved with this?
Yeah, so since we had so many years of different cohorts, so some stick around, some come and go, but we have about 10 artists that are participating. Yes, and it's going to be a mixture of French, Greek, and Mexican American artists.
Okay.
Yeah. So which is really cool. Some of them we've never met. So some of now because thanks to the internet, now we promote it and now we're gonna have new acquaintances and new relationships. And I love involving government entities such as the consulates and different organizations to support the people that go from these countries because they are representing the art of that country in that specific location.
And it's just
and they come
amazing.
And they help us out.
and this is still done through the U of A?
No, this has never been done through the U of A.
Oh, this one. Oh, I'm sorry. This one.
This it was hosted the first time at the U of A, and then it's just the International Art Exchange that we organized this throughout the years.
Okay, and then when we do these interviews, this one's being recorded in early 2026, but they live on the internet forever. But this is something you do every year.
Every year since 2009, it's been a yearly ongoing thing.
Where do people get information? Like if they want to host a family or if they're an artist that want to, like, how do they get involved with that?
Well, you know what? The hosting a family deal stopped for a little bit because it was getting to be a little too much to ask many favors to people. Okay. But if you want to host an artist and you want to be friends with an artist, it's still part of the deal. Now I try to find hostels or like a very group rate hotels for the artist. I kind of plan everything for them to just live the experience. So they are the artist and we're the organization that puts it together. But it's the International Art Exchange organization. You can Google it. That's the website, International Art Exchange.
Okay.
And so we've done different countries and we do like tours. And so it's not just the come and hang your art and let's see if we sell it. It's come, meet people, greet people, because artist connections, artist energy. And so I believe even language, I don't speak Greek, but we just connect through the art, You point here, you point there, and then you go. And then, so it's fun. So you can find it on there. You can participate. There's no limit to the number of times you can participate. We do ask that you're just 18 years or older to come. Or if you have very good, talented young artists, perhaps we can talk to the parents about it, I believe in supporting the youth because I was part of it.
Yeah, I would imagine at 12 years old, your life changed, and at 16, it changed again. I mean, these are transformative times. If those aren't there for you or they're not there for another artist, they might not end up being...
and it only takes a smile, and it only takes a yes, So giving those people and us the opportunity to exhibit.
And on your way to Greece, you're probably going to have to fly out of the Tucson International Airport, which means you might be walking by a mural that you did over there.
My most precious treasure.
Tell us about that.
So, that was an amazing blessing. I was able to complete 2 murals at the Tucson Airport next to the rental place of the cars. So that was through an opportunity that came last year in 2025. The idea was to complete a project that kind of put Tucson together, the energy and what symbols are in this town. It was hard to come up with a design because we have so many things to share with the world. But I was able to capture San Javier Mission, A Mountain, downtown, which is really unique. as I believe it's like the focal and the heart of our city. And the airport as well, and it's very colorful, vivid, and I love taking pictures there. Yeah, saguaros, a few bunnies here, like very secret things that you really have to look for. So it's a cool thing. And I've been hearing that a lot of people are like taking selfies and doing it as like a backdrop for like a hello Tucson or goodbye Tucson. So it's pretty neat. It's pretty neat.
Well, internationally, you're helping international artists, and your art is, as I'm sure, traveling around the world as people are getting their photographs in front of that.
Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I didn't think of that, but it's true. You take a little piece of Victor with you.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely. And then there's another event you were talking about in Clifton.
Yes.
A more local event. Is that an annual thing as well?
Yes. Okay. So I was involved with the organization, and I'm more as an artist participant, but it's fully supportive of. It's called the Art Depot nonprofit in Clifton, Arizona. And it hosts, this would be maybe the 11th annual Colors of Copper. And so this is a juried art exhibition, and it's hosted by this organization. We have cash prizes and all kinds of prizes. Nice. But it's to involve the artist community from the rural areas of Arizona, such as, Morenci and Duncan or Sierra Vista, or any place that wants to come into it. It's the happening event of the month. And it will be the weekend of February 27 and 28.
That's in 2026.
Yes.
But it happens around that same time frame every year?
Typically February, but they've been changing it here and there. So this year is February.
Okay. So we'll just find Colors of Copper.
Colors of Copper.
Yeah, that's something I'm sure we can.
Yeah, super Arizona. And it's definitely to support our locals and to, and plus we have all the wineries that come by. So we have art and wine competition.
All right. Well, kind of a pretty good pairing there.
Yes.
Well, I know, when the work was being brought into the Tucson Gallery, there was a lot of excitement within that group because of the colors and the style that you bring is very unique to what we have.
Thank you.
And it certainly has its own messaging or its own vibe that comes across. And having met you a couple of times and then just chatting with you briefly today, like that vibe is you.
Thank you.
Like your art is you. I can see this completely coming through as you're sitting there making this art. It's just easy, not necessarily easy, but it's coming directly from you.
That feels nice to know.
Onto the paper.
Thank you.
So
as an artist, you never know. So it's really nice to have my art in the gallery, to have been part of this very group of people, very talented group of people. Yeah. So many artists, so many colors, and the experience of live painting in the galleries once a month is very unique to me. Yeah, I love painting live. I do it all the time in different events, parties, just to amuse, but also to just express and to, people see what I do. I did this a lot through SACA at the different events at Desert Ridge or different places that they host events. And so to paint live at the Tucson Gallery and be part of you guys is a major, major blessing. Thank you.
I'm sure it is felt in both ways.
Gracias.
Victor Navarro, and you can find his work at the Tucson Gallery. Find reproductions available with different prints as well as merchandise on the TucsonGallery.com website. This podcast will be hosted there, and you can, while you're on that website, if you want to check out the other artists in Tucson that have participated in the Meet the Artist campaign. We're really, really, truly blessed in Tucson to have tremendous talent. And Victor, I thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you to Tom and to the rest of the team in the gallery. Thank you.
Thanks again for watching another episode of Life Along the Streetcar. We are excited to bring the people, the events, the places that are really shaping Tucson's urban core. Each week, we open and close our show with music from Ryan Hood, so we thank them for allowing us to use Dillinger Days. And this show does not get done without the amazing work of our executive producer, James Portis. My name is Tom Heath. I'm your host. I invite you to check back each week for another episode of Life Along the Streetcar. And until next time, stay curious, Tucson.